Today. Projections. And no, I'm not talking about a projector you saw in high school back in the 80s or 90s or 2000s. We're going to look at NFL players, newbies, rookies stepping into the NFL draft, what they're going to be in the future as far as all-star game, and where they're going to go, or where they should be, rather. What's up? It's your boy Cintron. Come back to another analysis video, and I kid you not, that's my real name. We're going to look at two articles today. The first article, 2023 NFL Draft, all pros, pro bowlers, and overachievers in this class. So we're going to look at super blue chippers, and regular blue chippers, borderline blue chippers, and red chippers. So we're going to look at Bucky Brooks' article here. I love how he breaks down things. And let's see who he has as those guys. All right, so we got to skip through a lot of fluff. He's going through some of the guys that he believes, for different reasons. The All-Pros. So he has Bryce Young. For me here, this is a no-go because it's contingent on where he goes, his maturity level, how he responds to adversity, so many things that without knowing the place and the tools around him, we can't know the how. How is he going to do? Just speaking on his talent alone, I believe he belongs in the Pro Bowl category. But we don't, he's not on the level of a Luck. Luck, even RG3, I would say were all pro level, or at least they had the capacity, ability to be. And Luck came out and proved it. RG3 was a pro bowler, not bad, but his ego derailed his own career. Will Anderson, I think with his production, you can safely put him in this category. He just doesn't really pop for me with any measurables, but the guy can play the game. He can get to the quarterback. And I think he did once or twice in the Texas game, playing against superior talent. He was going up against a running back, Bijan Robinson, who I love. If you've been watching the videos, but you're not. You haven't been. You're not. That stonewalled him on more than one attempt, more than a couple attempts. So, how does he measure up to elite competition? That is to be seen. I don't know if those were, not garbage sacks, but, sacks against the lower competition. But I think, kind of doesn't matter. If he has those two coming into the league, he can be, gifted with more by way of, his picking up things from, the talent around him, both on his team and outside, picking up a mentor, a guy that, is going to teach him the tricks of the trade, going to those camps and, studying from a Von Miller and picking his brain, stuff like that. He has the talent. As does this guy, Jalen Carter. It's not about the physical giftings that he has. He's one of the top 5 talents in this draft, but it's about the maturity. Him being involved in that incident that someone lost their life in. He was racing. He wasn't directly involved in their demise, but he was had a direct correlation in egging them on. Driving in and out, weaving in and out of lanes, and driving dangerously. Who wants that in their building? It depends on how talented he is. Let's just be honest. This is the NFL. Is for long money. All right. Anyways, yeah, he has that potential. Will he reach it? Will he even scratch the surface of it? That's to be seen. Bijan Robinson, obviously, he's one of the top 5 talents in this draft as well, regardless of position. He just has the physical makeup, the mental makeup, talent, and the drive and the want, man. This guy really wants it bad. Loves playing a position. Has such foresight and knowledge. He has that shotgun gun, jumping in and out of lanes, cuts. So yeah, he has the prerequisite and talent, and the discipline and the will, drive to back it up. CJ Stroud, for me, I put him in the red chipper category because it shows, but then it's just like, how much is that? He's playing at Ohio State, the talent as well as around him. He had 3 receivers, go over 1,000, and then 1,600 just coming in, JSN this draft, and then Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave, who were just 2 first rounders that shined, sparkled last year. So how much is that with the system and the talent around him? Because if he goes to a talent poor team, like just say if he goes to the Colts at number 3, number 4, wherever they pick him, most likely, is he going to be able to elevate? I see him as a red chipper right now. He has a talent, but can he prove at this level? Is that S2 score that he had, the low score that he had, is that really true? Is that just a rumor, or is that really is it holds true and on face value indicative of his mental acumen? Because yeah, if he doesn't have it, just for some easy layups in college, man, they're gonna hit you hard in the pros, bro. All right, the Pro Bowlers, guys that gonna be ranked among the top 10 in 2 or 3 years. Tyree Wilson, I could definitely put him here. He could definitely be one of those guys that I would say he's borderline blue chip for me. I mean, borderline all pro for me. He has the ability, but it's just the consistency. He only had like 18 sacks in college, but he's 6'6", 271, and labeled one of his guys was several of his coaching staff as a athletic freak. So we didn't get to see him at the combine, but the dude has an immense amount of talent. He's projected to go top 10, maybe top 5. We shall see. But yeah, somebody's gonna be definitely happy with this, even if he is just a annual Pro Bowler. Peter Skoronski, great guy at Northwestern, has I think the best technique coming into this draft at tackle. The question with him is, what is his future position? Is he better as a guard, or is he better as a tackle? He has alligator arms, and they don't like that in the NFL. Even though he is 6'4", 32-inch arms, and he could, beat that reputation, beat that labeling. But it all depends on who drafts him and what they see him as, and I would say try and burst a tackle, but some teams may not have that luxury. They may have their roster already set. He's just slotting in at one of the positions. Is just kind of like the the reason why you're being picked early. The faultiness and faulty is by design. The best teams pick last, and the worst teams pick first. But the worst teams are picking first for a reason, because they suck. And their evaluation, their schemes, their coaching, their syncopation with each other, the chemistry, they're not good. So could screw up a player being picked this early. But I think he is he's a potential Pro Bowler. He could fall into the red chipper category. Dalton Kincaid, from every regard we see, he's elite tight end, blocking and receiving. Pro Bowler, I feel safe saying that. Devin Witherspoon, I'd put him in the latter category. Just label on his talents. What he did this past year, having like a quarterback rating when targeted at the 20s and 30s, and he's faced stiff competition, tackles well, very good at cluing in, reading formations and reading receivers' body language to get picks, put himself in advantageous position. So for me, those are blue chip, ultra blue chip categories, ultra blue chip qualities. So yeah, I'd put him in that upper echelon. Brian Branch, for me, I would say Pro Bowler, definitely. He has the potential. He could also just be a red chipper. It depends. Didn't test well athletically, but he has the instincts, so that's buoying him at this point. So we'll see what he can do, and also it depends on Also, it's kind of a codependent position. Even if you shine as a whole, it can make you look bad, because you might end up trying to farm the next man's land, trying to do too much, trying to compensate for your teammates' lack of technique, lack of discipline, or both, which just puts you in hell. Kalijah Kancey, obviously has the talent, ran a tick slower than Aaron Donald, came out of, Pitt as well. Almost the same measurables, but, a gap shooting, pass rushing, D-tackle, but can he reach that potential? So, I'd feel, good putting him here, but he also could fall into the red chip category. Christian Gonzalez, same. He's a boomer bust guy. He's seen, let's say for his evaluation, great tools, smooth guy. He's smooth as hell. He's a guy that I wanted really badly before I really got on the Bijan Robinson train. Pause. But he's talented. But the thing with him is it going to show up? He's there oftentimes to say, and then he doesn't make them play on the ball. So will he be able to make plays on those balls in the league? And is it mental makeup, or is it coaching? Things that you can work out, through them beating scheme and information to his head. We'll see, but he could fall into either category. Paris Johnson, I would put him borderline at the top, top category, because I think he's uber talented, just as talented as Skronsky, but I think Skronsky just has the stability with him playing at tackle for more 2 years at least. Paris Johnson played a guard last year, and then he switched over to tackle. So I didn't know if he played at right tackle as well, but he's played at different positions. So it'd be safe to put his floor at a Pro Bowler. And then that goes with his next guy, Jackson Smith Njigba, JSN, not the Jacksonville State Network. I don't know, man. This has put a lot on him because he had 1,600 yards 2 years ago, and then this past year, he put up abysmal yards, got hurt. So I'm like, I don't. And then that was with Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson there as well. And he was the lead receiver, but how much is that, them drawing coverage, him to shine one-on-one? And yeah, he could do that in the pros, but it's always an adjustment coming in as a receiver. And he could just come in as a slot guy because he has the build of a slot guy, and he's not a speedy guy. So we shall see, but he could be just I'd see him as a red chipper. I don't think this isn't a sparkling draft for receivers. Osiris Torrance. I put him solidly in the Pro Bowl category with a chance to advance. He could be a nasty guy, mauler. He just plays with a nasty disposition, with a mean streak, and he just goes out there and gets after it and mashes and mauls guys. So I feel safe putting his floor here at Pro Bowler. So here's the Red Stars, guys that are going to shine, but may not be, make it to the All-Star game, but they're going to make their mark on, the game in the league. Zay Flowers, yeah, good route running ability, skinny, so, the size thing. Can he outrun those, the limitations that he has on him, both in reputation and in actual stature? Drew Sanders, seen as a linebacker, seen as a jack of all trades, but not really a master of none. So can he elevate to the next level coming into the league? Keon White, older guy. I think he's going to be 24 this year, turning 24 or is already 24. So older guy, he's kind of, hitting his stride late. But, he has tools, but he's just adjusting to the game. He hasn't played it that long. So what are you truly going to get? Emmanuel Forbes, a guy that, had 14 picks, 6 pick sixes, I think a record in the SEC. Played on the toughest conference, but only 166 pounds and not at a diminutive, stature, 5'9" or 5'8". He's 6'1" and weighing that. So can he put on some weight? I think that would make all the world of difference. He can get to like a $180, at least a $180, $185. I don't know if he has a frame for it, but he should because he's 6'1". But that just is interesting. He's an interesting guy. It'll be interesting to see where he goes and how much he gets dinged on being that size. Tajay Spears, explosive guy, change of pace guy. So he can make his mark, but you could say the same for I forget the other guy. Runs a 4.32. Coming out of, I forget where he's coming out of, but these guys, they're specialty players. So how much are they really gonna impact the game? But it could be like the Chargers running back. Small guy, but he's great receiving talent, makes up, for his size. So these guys, it's a mixed bag, man. And let's get to the next list. 2023 NFL Draft. Which prospect might not be a first-round pick, but should be? So, again, we're stepping into sketchy territory. Jalen Hyatt. Guys, explosive, tall. Reminds you of a Randy Moss. 20 touchdowns, 1,200 receiving yards. That being said, he's kind of just a big play guy, limited route tree. Can he come in and develop? It'd be great for him to go somewhere with not a lot of pressure on him. Let's say KC, where they can slowly acclimate him like they did Sky Moore last year. They didn't really lean on him, but he made it big in the game they needed to, the Super Bowl. Just slowly bring him along. But this, like I said, this isn't a sparkling receiving class. Quentin Johnson having holes in his game, Jordan Addison, JSN, and Zay Flowers. They're all Jackson is consensus number one, but it says a lot. Saying that he wouldn't even be, in the last 5 years, he wouldn't even be a top 5 receiver in a lot of those classes. Jamar Gibbs, I mean, the dude is talented, but he's only 5'9", a buck 99, runs a 4.36, but a 4.36 or 4.38. So yeah, he's fast, but he's not gonna hit the hole like, I mean, and move guys. He can be a weapon, but he's more of a platoon guy. Bijan can carry the load, but this guy, he's gonna come out to, have to come in and share, be in a timeshare with somebody. And I mean, this is where the NFL is headed. Cool, but that really doesn't make him like a generational guy, even though he has the receiving chops and things like that. He has to be given a limited number of touches because you're afraid he's going to break. Marvin Mims, yeah, size. I mean, he fits. He's not, even though he's faster than any of the top receivers in the draft, he's seen as a slot guy. So I mean, like, you don't really draft those guys first round unless they have incredible measurables, or it's just like you're looking at them to complete, your trio of receivers, or it's just, a luxury for you that you can play this guy for a couple of years and then maybe feature him and after those other guys transition out. But yeah, I mean, he's kind of slotted where he should be. Maybe goes in the second round, maybe most likely the third. Steve Avila, interior lineman, just get mostly no respect. Yeah, he played a variety of positions, but he's gonna be seen as a day 2 pick because I don't think he's I mean, even though he's great, it's just undervalued, and like there's only so many guys like I would say the guard out of Florida, Tyrus Osiris or what, I forget what his name was, just covered him, but he's seen as a first rounder because I mean, like, he's got that dog in him, and he stands out more so than Steve. I mean, Steve is solid, I think even borderline great, but guard, just like running back, is devalued in this league. Cedric Tillman would have been maybe a first rounder if he had stayed healthy. He has the size. I think he has the speed as well. Runs a 4.4, I believe, but hurt. So I mean, that's the story on him. But he lit up Georgia and Alabama. But I mean, if you can't stay healthy, you're gonna go later in the draft. Sidney Brown got Jamar Robinson. Golly, I'm missing people. Got Bijan Robinson on the brain. Yeah, because it's right there, threw me off. Sidney Brown, talented guy. He had a lot of carries. Proved himself though, 300 plus carries, but like 1,600 yards this past season. That being said, a little bit more tread on tires than you want. Talented guy, ran a 4.4, has a twin brother actually, and he plays safety. Oh damn, I'm talking about the safety. I'm thinking about the running back. I'm bad. Scratch what you just heard. He's a talented guy, and instinctual, makes plays back there. Maybe needs a little season in a little red shirt, but he's gonna be a starter, and he's gonna give you quality starts, and an athletic guy as well. His brother, I just spoke to that. Yeah, obviously wrong guy, but anyways, these are guys that are borderline, and they all have their flaws, their reasoning. All right, a couple things around the league. Colts GM Gilmore trade to Dallas, good for both of us. They undersold the dude. I mean, it was just a salary dump. Let's be clear about it. He shouldn't have been that cheap to acquire, but he's only got 1 year left on his deal. He could shine there. He upgraded the position there in Dallas across from their talented cornerback, Stefan's brother. Anyways, you know who it is. Forgetting names at this point, but the last thing we'll look at today, Saquon on the Giants talks. Whatever happens. It just shows you, man, like, people hate getting that franchise tag, and it is what it is. I think he walks after this year. Someone pays him, but not. I don't even think he gets what he's getting this year. Just tells you how devalued the position is at running back, and yeah, it's kind of sad, man. It's kind of sad, but it's always gonna go this route. Once they slap the tag on you, they respect you, but not enough to give you a long-term deal. It's like a dude that's like effing a chick, and he's like, I'm not gonna marry you, but I'll be in a relationship with you. That says it all. All right, before we get out of here, Trey Lance, Trey Talk, I got a comment on that. yeah, man, he's just in limbo. It's kind of a terrible place to be as a player, but I mean, yeah, stay healthy. But I mean, that's the luck of the draw. That's kind of in his control, but also cannot be because, you know, freak accidents, freak injuries happen all the time. But they just had horrible injury luck there in the Bay in San Francisco. So hopefully, I mean, he can move on, jump another team, and then, you know, change the course of his career. All right, and the New York Jets and the Green Bay Packers are engaged talks about Aaron Rodgers. I think around the draft, this trade could happen. I don't think they want to go for the first round of that number 13 overall pick from, you know, the Jets to send to the Packers. More looking at, you know, 2 twos or 2 and this year, and then like a combination pick or a conditional pick where it goes up in value based on performance and what do you call it, snap count and playing numbers and, you know, all the other good jazz. Anyways, we're gonna get out of here. That's all we have for today. Anyways, I mean, you're not even watching though. It's all good. But I love doing these videos because I don't give a who watches it. So it's all good. It's all good. As always, it's Fly Eagles Fly. And let's motherfucking go! Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like. Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron, Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.